Hey guys, thanks for checking out this clip of Anatomy of the Church and State. Be sure to catch the full episode on Rumble or ChristiansForLiberty.com. Links are in the show description.
So can we, government, without this micromanaging, overreaching federal government, is it feasible to roll back and have government similar to what it was way back in ancient times, where it's more community-based governing instead of an overreaching Fed?
So I just want to tell you that in my community, in the Orthodox Jewish community, we basically have a government within the government. Like, for example, when someone needs an ambulance, we have our own ambulance service.
Okay.
We don't wait for the city to come get us. We have a Jewish ambulance that anyone could call, but we call. We have our own police force. We have a group of volunteers who every night, you call them up, and instead of calling the police, we call the shomrim. Shomrim means the guardians, and these people come. I once had a son who, he was like 7 years old, and he had $1.25 in his pocket, and three kids came up and mugged him for the $1.25. I called up shomrim. I called up this Jewish police force, and by the time they got to my house, they found the three boys, and they got the $1.25 back. And the thing is that the police, since the police are not doing any police work anymore because they're just giving us parking tickets, they rely on the Jewish police force. I mean, the city is not against it. The city likes it because it takes less money because the Jewish people are taking care of themselves. We have our own courts of law that, in fact, it's a sin for a Jewish person to take another Jewish person to a secular court. We have, it's like this. If two people have a problem, they go to a rabbi who they trust, but we both trust this one man, whatever he says we're going to do. And if that doesn't work, then we have a thing called the Beis Din, which means a house of judgment, which means three men get together. They're a Beis Din. They're a legal Jewish court. We bring our problem to them. When, I choose one judge, my opponent chooses another judge, and the two of us choose the third judge. And so whatever they decide, so we adhere to what that court says. And if a person, and we even have like legal Beis Dins, we have places in which very knowledgeable rabbis will sit, and you'll go before them and you'll bring your case. You don't have to pay for lawyers. You don't have to pay court fees. You don't have to wait 7 months to get your thing seen before a judge. You go before the Beis Din, you come down tomorrow, and so on and so forth. I myself went and did it myself personally. There was someone I had an argument with, and we went before a Beis Din, went before three Jewish men, and the thing is, if somebody would then, like, he doesn't like the Beis Din, the judged against him, and he doesn't like it. And if he should then go to the secular court, so in New York City, the secular court says, if a Beis Din judged this way, you have to listen to the Beis Din, and they throw the case out. That's how you can even go to government buildings in downtown Brooklyn, and when you go in there, and all the courthouses, 50 stories up are all courthouses, but to the left they have the Jewish Beis Din over there in the government building. You can just go there and get your case taken care of. And so basically, and we have our own schools too. We don't rely on, no one would put their kids in a public school. Never, never, never. People will, if we hear that someone's going to put their kid in a public school, the whole community will rush in there to give it's not inexpensive to put your kid in a private school. You know what I mean? It's very expensive, but people come in, and if there's anyone, so we don't rely on the schools. We don't rely on anything. We're like a city within the city, and we take care of our own. There's no such thing as if a person is poor, he doesn't have enough. So there's thousands and thousands of people that will come to help that person. If I have a problem, I don't have enough money for this or that, you can call a friend of yours, he calls out 10 people, and everyone gives you something, and all of a sudden your problem is solved. We don't even use the city to bury our dead. We don't let the city come in and do anything if a Jewish person dies. So we have our own group of men that come down and, according to Jewish law, arrange for a person to be buried. Yes, so that in itself is a city, within a city. So, and that's all local. That is all. That's nothing, and that's why they're attacking our yeshivas now. In New York City, they're attacking the yeshivas. They're trying to destroy the yeshivas because basically they're upset that we can be successful without their schools. We don't need their schools, to be successful. Right now,
what you're describing is the definition of a beautiful libertarian society. I'm like listening to this and I'm like, that is just amazing what you guys have going on. But yeah, now they're trying to come after you because you're operating outside.
Right, because they want everyone to be woke. They want everyone to become weird. They want everyone to
coming after you.
Well, they're putting pressure. They come into the school building and they start say, turn on your laptops. Let's look into your computers. They're putting a lot of pressure on the Hasidic schools, Hasidic Jews. I'm not a Hasidic Jew, but the Hasidic Jews, they're putting a lot of pressure on them. There was a joke I saw on the internet. I shared the joke with you. What did the educated professor say to the uneducated Hasidic Jew? No, I said it wrong. What did the uneducated Hasidic Jew say to the educated professor?
What?
The rent's due on the 1st. Okay. Okay. They don't have their education, but you don't need it. You go to Hasidic communities, and it's the most affluent. It's the most. Everything is built up. The most beautiful stores are in the Hasidic community. In Borough Park in Brooklyn, the Hasidim live there on 13th Avenue, which is a stretch of from 36th Street up to 60th Street. Every single block, there's 1, 2, or even 3 banks per block. Why are there so many banks? Every single bank, even on one block, there's 3 banks. Why is that? Because there's a lot of money there. But their education, they weren't educated by the public school system. Oh, that's why there's a lot of money there. Because they're not ruined by the public education. They have the thing here, like, I give an advertisement to these people. They're not paying me kuman. I think I'm pronouncing it right. I don't know. But they have they educate the children after school. Why are they successful? Because the schools here are not educating the children. They're not educating them. I just say one more thing, we have in the summertime, the government pays for youth corps. They give students money. It used to be students money to be able to work, but now they're giving students money to be taught by public school teachers. All they're teaching them is to be woke, social warriors, to turn your parents in, to be weird, a person's sexuality is part of his mentality, which is easily twisted. And so, they're upset because our children are escaping the way they're trying to ruin other people's children. These people don't reproduce. The only way they can have more people after them is they get your children and make them twist their brains enough to end up thinking like them.